Welcome to Tia's Table, where we talk about making fitness and wellness doable for busy women like you and me. Looking for healthy meal ideas, workout motivation, and good conversation? Don't worry, I got you, girl. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey, girl, hey! Welcome back to another episode of Tia's Table. This is our last episode of 2022. Can you even believe it? I feel like 2022 said, you know what, girl, I'm not even going to hold you. I'm not going to hold you. Let me just get through these 12 months right quick because 2023, it's coming and I need to get out of the way. Can you even believe it's the end of the year already? Oh my goodness. If you are new here or if this is your first time hearing this podcast, I'm Tia, a certified group fitness instructor, a behavior change coach, which means that I help women develop healthy habits that will allow them to live healthy lives for a lifetime. If you are looking to gain momentum, create some consistency, learn how to meal plan, and just practice healthier habits overall for total wellness, and you need a little bit of help with that, I'm your girl. Reach out to me. You can do that by emailing me at tiavfitness@gmail.com or by hitting me up on Instagram at tiavfitness. I'm so happy to have you here. This month, what's on our table, or at least for this episode, right? Because the month is almost over. I hope you have completed your Christmas shopping. But I have really been enjoying marinated cucumbers lately. And I know cucumbers are one of those things that I'm learning. Apparently, a lot of people don't enjoy them. Well, then how do you make a salad without a cucumber? Because see, when I make salads, they have to have certain things depending on what kind of salad it is. Now, if we're just having a regular at-home homemade salad, then I have to have cucumbers. I have to have tomatoes. I have to have red onion. I probably have to have a boiled egg. And then anything else that goes into that salad is like icing on the cake. But those things kind of have to be there. And you know what? If I don't have a cucumber, I probably won't even make the salad, right? So a couple weeks ago, I randomly remembered that my grandma used to make this really yummy, like marinated cucumber, tomato, onion type salad. We really wouldn't eat it as a salad. We would eat it like with our soul food, right? You would just kind of have it there on your plate. Sometimes we'd have it with like banana peppers, not all together, but like you could also put banana peppers like off to the side with your food. You know what I'm saying? Like eat your food with it. If you are from the South and you know anything about chow chow, think of it like that. Like this is something that you would maybe put on top of something or just eat with some collard greens. It's really tangy and salty and peppery in the right way without being spicy. Like hers was just always perfect. And I remembered that like a week or so ago. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try making this and having it as a snack because I really enjoy that salty, tangy flavor. But like, I don't need to be buying potato chips. Like, I just don't need to be buying them because I cannot be trusted. That's my thing, right? I'm not a sweets person. You know, I'll have a slice of pie or a slice of cake if I make it, but I can sit and watch people enjoy sweets and I won't be fazed. My thing is chips and dip. I love a good salsa, a good guacamole, a good French onion dip, a good ranch dip that's been done well. I like stuff like that. And then if you have a good chip, a good wavy lay to go with your French onion, or a really good tortilla chip to go with whatever other dip or sauce or whatever you might have, like, ooh, that's where you're going to get me. And I could sit there and eat that all day long, which is also why I don't buy those things. But because I know that about myself, I'm like, this would be a healthy alternative. I would get the flavors that I'm looking for to like satisfy that craving. And I would get it with basically like 0 to no calories at all, because at the end of the day, this is a cucumber, right? I made it and y'all, it was so good. Those cucumbers have been so good that I have been literally dreaming of ways to use them in a million different ways. The first way that I used them, of course, was on a salad, right? I made a roasted potato salad by just tossing some baby red potatoes into the air fryer. I sliced those red potatoes. I sprayed them with avocado oil. I tossed them in some Mrs. Dash, popped them in the air fryer, let them cook until they were, until they were done. On the salad, I used the whole container of baby spring mix, which that's something we've been talking about on Instagram. The fact that apparently the serving is the whole container, and I don't know that anybody ever does that. I started doing it this past week, and I'm like, okay, I totally get it now. You're like full when you use that whole container. And you get all the benefits that come with eating like all of those vegetables at one time. So I'm here for eating the whole container. But I made a salad with the roasted potatoes, a container of the baby spring mix. I put the marinated cucumbers on there, some tomato. I also air fried some red onion, which makes it a little bit crispy, and that's just so good. So I air fried those. I think I had whatever protein was available to me. So if it was chicken, if it was salmon, whatever we had that was left over from something else, I tossed that on there. And you guys, that has been the best lunch. Oh, I also made a pesto. I made a pistachio pesto, which is out of a recipe or out of a cookbook that I have. The No Crumbs Left cookbook has a really good pistachio pesto recipe in there. And it's basically just pistachio, basil, a couple other things. I don't want to give it away because I want y'all to go buy that lady's cookbook because it's really, really good. And I used that for my dressing for this salad, and it has been so good. So satisfying. I had it for lunch several times this week, and I cannot tell you how easy it makes eating healthy when the stuff you eat is actually really flavor packed and really good. And I think what I'm learning just from having conversations with people is that the eating the really healthy food is not the problem, but they're like, sis, where I'm supposed to get it though? Like, you want me to be cooking all these things? How am I supposed to find them? How am I supposed to make time to make all these things? And I think therein lies, maybe one of the things we can kind of talk about in the main topic segment of the podcast today, but creating healthy meals and doing something like that. Yes, it absolutely takes time. And if you're a person that works away from home, or you just have a job that makes you, committed to your desk for the greater part of the day, and you don't have time to be air frying and doing all that stuff, always consider pre-doing things, maybe on like a Saturday or Sunday, and then just having them ready to go all throughout the week. I also hear people say a lot that they don't want to eat the same things every day. And when you think about it, you're really not eating the same thing every single day, right? So I may have had that salad like twice, 2 or 3 times this week, which was not every day of the week. But yeah, like if I had the stuff to make it, I already had the pesto made. So it just made it easy for me to keep repeating that particular meal. And I think sometimes it's a good idea for us to choose what's easiest than for us, well, especially if that's going to like break some type of rule that you have for yourself. Like, I don't eat the same thing over and over. Like, I don't want to do that. But if it's already there and it's healthy, like the numbers are right for you, and you don't have to do anything to put that meal on a plate in front of you, girl, like, go ahead and do that salad back to back. Go ahead and have that broccoli and chicken back to back. Nothing's going to happen. And it's a surefire way for you to stay within your goals during the week. Make it once, eat it several times, maybe not back to back if that's not your jam, but try to start making things just super easy for yourself, because that is where the consistency lives, right? So if you like salt and tangy, let me bring that back. Because I was about to start preaching. If you like salty, tangy flavored things, think about trying the marinated cucumbers, because they are absolutely delicious. And like I said, you could do it with tomatoes too. So if tomatoes are more your jam, girl, do it with tomatoes and it's all going to come out absolutely delicious. You can put them on a veggie sandwich, make a salad, eat them with roasted veggies, like so many things that you can do with these, and you won't regret it. Trust me, I've been eating it all week. Alrighty, so moving on to our main topic of the day, since it is the last episode of 2022, and I know everybody is thinking about goals, 2023, what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. They really want to buckle down because January is that month, isn't it? January is that month where everyone says, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to do this thing. Like I'm going to do it this time, right? And I wanted to give everyone a different way of thinking about approaching their fitness journey in the new year. So I know we all make New Year's resolutions. We all make plans to do these really big things, or we'll say, I want to lose this amount of weight. I want to go to the gym this often. You know, we set goals based on what we would like to see, right? You want to see yourself lose weight. You want to see yourself go to the gym. You want to see yourself eat healthier. You want to see yourself do all these things. And I think that's great. And you should definitely write those things down. But when it's time to actually execute those, people are able to either execute them for like the first week or two, and then they fall off, or they're able to maybe do it for like a few days and then they feel burnt out, right? And it hasn't even been like a couple weeks yet. So how can we position ourselves to go after these big goals all year long? And a solution that I have for you that I practice myself is setting small goals, which doesn't really sound all that sexy when you say it. But when you set small goals that are actually actionable, you're able to go after that much larger goal without really even thinking about it, right? So if your goal is to, let's say your goal is to lose 50 pounds, right? That's the big goal. The big goal is to lose 50 pounds. Okay, well then the small goal would be to get a gym membership, right? But see, the thing with the small goal is like you have to set several. They're like little breadcrumbs on the way to like a big idea, or they're like little mile markers on a highway to your goal. Think about it like that. So the first mile marker could be, let me get this gym membership, right? Small goal. The next small goal would be, this week, I want to make it to the gym twice. And I think this is where people kind of, I don't want to say get it twisted, but I think this is where people take on too much. That's a better way of saying it. They take on too much in the beginning, right? So if you have been a person living a very sedentary lifestyle, you haven't really been doing anything active other than just living your life, I think it is a bit much for anyone to ask of themselves, well, let me go from not working out at all, or I haven't worked out in like 5 years, right? To now going to the gym 5 days a week for an hour. When you say that, that sounds like a lot. That would sound like a lot for me. If someone walked up to me and was like, ooh, girl, for your 2023, in order for you to meet your goal, you need to go to the gym every day for an hour. That would overwhelm me because I would know nothing about the way that my particular life is set up says that I can go be anywhere for an hour every day during the week. Like, girl, no, I couldn't do it. But what is an actionable goal that is much smaller would be to say, okay, maybe I go to the gym twice a week, right? That is a real, very realistic, doable, small goal that will help you create momentum to get to where you want to be, which is a goal of going to the gym 5 days a week. So you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym 2 days a week. If it was me, I would do Monday, Friday. Like if you were my client, I would say, ooh, girl, book in that thing Monday, Friday. Start your week with a bang and end it with a pow, right? You go to the gym, you go for your hour, you start feeling really successful. You start feeling really good about yourself because you're meeting yourself where you're at, and you're also achieving this goal every single week. And you can apply this to working out at home too. If you're going from not working out at all, but you want to work out at home, tell yourself 2 times a week, because you can do 2 times a week, right? And the same thing goes for the length of time that you want to work out. If you know your fitness level or your time constraints or your conflicting commitments, whatever, because we talked about that before in another episode. If you know that all of that pretty much says to you, you don't have an hour, well, then don't ever schedule yourself for what you know you can't do, right? So you tell yourself if 20 minutes is what you can do, you say, I can do 20 minutes. So twice a week for 20 minutes, twice a week for 30 minutes. And you just start adding increments of 5 to 10 on there until you get to whatever your desired workout time might be. The same thing with the days of the week. You start out with 2 days a week and you add a day and you add a day and you add a day until you get to your 5 days a week. But you give yourself a chance to progress through your fitness journey. Now, someone's going to ask me, well, how long should I work out for 2 days a week? Or how long should I work out for 20 minutes before I start adding on time? The first answer to that is to know your body, and your body will ultimately let you know when you're ready. If you're leaving the gym twice a week feeling super gassed, you're super sore, and that time in the gym is really like giving it to you, I would say stick with that for about 2 to 3 weeks. Once your body becomes used to it and you feel yourself getting faster and stronger, add on a day. I would also encourage people, because I know somebody's out there and you're going to start doing those 2 days and it's going to feel like nothing to you. You're going to be like, man, this is nothing. And you're going to say, let me go ahead and just go from the 2 days a week to the 5. And I would say, depending on a lot of different things. But if you are, especially if you're about my age, if you're somewhere around the 40-year-old mark, I would say, girl, keep doing it low and slow, at a day at a time, at a day at a time, at a day at a time, until you get to where you want to be. Because you never want to overdo it or like jump all the way out there, because the feeling that you're going to have if you have to regress on your schedule or on your progress is not going to be a good one. And that will make people fall off of the bandwagon. Right? When people say, oh, I fell off the wagon, they probably fell off because something didn't go right one time. And then they told themselves they just couldn't do it. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I'm like, let's set some small, actionable goals that create momentum, right? It's like the snowball domino effect. It creates the momentum you need, and ultimately you'll get to where you want to go. Now, a personal example of this would be for me. My 2023 goal is to start waking up at 5. Why is that? Well, because my alarm clock goes off at 5 o'clock anyway. I'm supposed to be getting up at 5. But because I don't go to bed until after 11, which is a whole nother conversation, but I don't go to bed until after 11 because my days are full and there's only one of me. Just to make a long story short, girl. Somebody can relate to that. So I'm literally doing stuff until I go to bed at night. After I'm in bed, I'm like, okay, I get those few hours of sleep. And so when that alarm clock goes off at 5, I'm like, oh my gosh, my body is not ready to get up. Like, I'm still tired. And you know how you time things out. It's like, you know your schedule, you know the flow of your morning and all of that. And I know how late I can lay down until I have to get up and start like making breakfast for the kids and packing lunches, getting them up and getting that whole get dressed express going. I know how late I can stay in bed and still have them at school on time, right? And I have gotten to a place where every morning I had been basically letting that alarm clock go off at 5. I had been snoozing my way to the last minute. And then when it's time for me to get up, it's like, oh, you've got to get up and get moving. And then the day just smacks me in my face. And then by school pickup time, like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired because from the second I woke up, I have been moving, all gas, no brakes. And that is no way for anybody to live. So my goal for 2023 is to wake up at 5 o'clock. That is the big goal for me. How am I going to go after that goal? What's a small, actionable goal that I can do to make sure that I'm meeting myself at 5 a.m.? Well, the small goal would be to have a cup of tea and do 10 minutes of yoga in my room. I'll tell myself every morning I want to do 10 minutes of yoga to warm my body up, and I want to have a cup of tea in my room before going downstairs and making breakfast for the kids, right? Before I leave my room, I want to do those things. And I can only do that if I wake up at 5 o'clock, right? So that is a small goal that'll ultimately help me meet the bigger goal. Now, in order to make that happen, I did have to go get myself an electric kettle. So I went and got like one of the new school kettles. You plug it into a wall, and I already took a mug from my cabinet in the kitchen. I took the mug upstairs, and it's like upstairs in my room. And I got a box of tea bags, and I took the box of tea bags upstairs, and it's in my room. So I have all of the things. All of the players are at the game, right? everyone's ready. Everyone is just waiting on me to show up. So how has that been going for me lately? Because I was trying to test it out before 2023 actually came, right? I have been getting up at 5, but I haven't been doing the yoga or making the tea just yet. Right now, I'm like, let me just get used to actually standing up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I think that what I'll ultimately see happen here is that if I'm able to get up at 5, have the tea and the yoga, come down and make breakfast, pack lunches and all of that, what I'll probably notice is that it'll be a much smoother, more enjoyable start to my day. And I truly deserve like a soft start to the day. I don't really deserve to be, getting beat down first thing in the morning. So that is one of my 2023 goals. My big goal is to wake up at 5 a.m. The small goal is to do 10 minutes of yoga and have tea in my room in order to make that happen. So when you think about your own goals for the new year, consider writing down what those really big dreams and those really big goals might be. And they don't even have to be fitness related, just in general. Think of the really big things you want to do. You can even apply this to what we talked about on the Let's Get Deep episode of the living like a deep life, like using that perspective to kind of go after your health and wellness goals. So when you think about that too, you could kind of write down what some of those goals might be for living like a good, deeper, or as some would say, a more balanced life. Write those things down and then think about what small things you can do to help you achieve that much larger goal. And when you're focusing on the smaller activities or the smaller tasks all throughout the week, you'll completely forget about the really big, somewhat overwhelming goal that tends to, for the most part, shut people down, right? Or because you'll feel bad when you feel like you're not completing that goal on a regular basis. So let's try to set the small goals, see if that helps us create some type of momentum, helps us be more consistent, and helps us get to where we would like to be. I would love it if by the end of 2023, we all feel like we are more relaxed, well rested. We are in a better physical condition than maybe we were at the start of the year, that we're noticing changes in ourselves in a way that we can directly relate back to some of the things we've been talking about here. So you guys let me know what you think about that. And if you try it, let me know how it works out for you. Set small goals. We can do it. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the random yet relatable things that we've all been seeing on social media. And I'm even going to say that this might be more of a couples edition of this, right? It's a fun way to end 2022 here at Tia's Table. Let's start off with couple number 1, right? Amy and TJ from Good Morning America. Now, let's just take it all the way back for just a moment. For those of you who may not know who Amy Robach or TJ Holmes might be, Amy Robach has always been a news anchor. That's all I've ever known her to be. And I want to say I may have first seen Amy Robach on NBC, but now she works over at ABC. Whatever. TJ Holmes used to have a show on BET called Don't Sleep. And it was like a late night news show. That is how I first got introduced to TJ Holmes. Now he's on Good Morning America, and we're going to talk about that. So first things first, the TJ that I got to know on BET is not the same TJ we are looking at on Good Morning America. And yes, of course, people do age and they get older and they change and all of that is to be expected. But I feel like his whole swag is different now than it was on BET. On BET, he used to do like the low fade, right? And I always thought that was a nice look for him. But now he's definitely doing something different. He's definitely doing something different. And not that it's a bad different, it's just a different. And when you do different, you get different. Okay, so apparently, and this is what I've learned just from reading Twitter. Twitter is my source for all of this. So if I'm wrong, girl, don't blame me. Blame those tweets. Blame the original tweeters. But apparently, Amy and TJ were both married before, right? They met their current spouses while they were married to whoever they were married to before, right? Follow me here. Now they are together with these other spouses, but apparently they had been separated from the people that they were married to or are married to. And for me, this is interesting because I'm like, oh, okay, well, if they were already separated, why is this story so big? Like, what about this particular couple became like a trending topic for so many days? I don't get it. And so it is believed that TJ's wife, I guess, hired a private investigator and had these photos taken, and the photos, caught the attention of many on social media. And so here we are. Fast forward, both of them have been suspended from their jobs, but they are still together because I literally checked Twitter before I got up here and called you. And new pictures have been released of them as of like today or yesterday, of them holding hands, walking the streets of New York, happy-go-lucky, sitting down, eating lunch. So they don't care about our opinion, and that's fine, girl. If you found love, I hope you found love in a hopeful place. I hope you did. I hope this is the real love Mary J. Blige was singing about. So I'm always interested in why stories take off. I'm like, what is it about this couple in particular that has got everybody chatting? And I don't know if people maybe didn't see them being a couple or like getting together. I don't know if it was because they're already married. And I thought to myself, well, that can't be it, because they're not the first, people, or I guess if you want to call them celebrities or famous people, to like cheat on their spouses. So that can't be it. Maybe it's just the unlikelihood that the two of them would come together. Like maybe we just didn't see the two of them coming together. I mean, I can't say that I ever thought I'd see Amy Robach and TJ Holmes like as a couple. But girl, here we are. Here we are. And if I gotta be honest, I feel like they look kind of cute together. But, don't look at me different. But I do feel like they look cute together. Now, everybody on Twitter was upset because TJ has a very beautiful wife who, people are like, how could you do that? And that argument for me is like no longer an argument. Like from now on, when we find out that these celebrities are like leaving their wives or cheating on their wives, let us all just come into agreement on the front side of things that it doesn't matter what that lady looks like. Let me just put this case file on the desk in front of you. Exhibits 1, 2, and 3. Beyonce, Halle Berry, and literally any other beautiful woman that you know that has had that same problem. Like, I don't think it matters what the people look like. I don't think so. But people were like, oh my gosh, his wife is so beautiful. And they were comparing the two women. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're both cute girls. What can you say? They both look amazing. So I don't think it's really about looks. I'm sure it's just some workplace chemistry thing. They're working together. They're laughing at all those fake jokes on TV. And after a while, those jokes probably start to sound real funny, like for real, for real. And now here we are. And now they're suspended from their jobs, which I also kind of don't get. But I mean, I kind of do. When you become the news, you can't be doing the news. You know what I'm saying? And when East Carolina University gave me my degree in broadcast journalism, that is one of the things that I learned. I learned pretty early that, girl, you can't do the news and be the news. You just can't do it. So I guess that's why they sat them down. And it'll be interesting to see how they bring them back, if they bring them back at all. But that story has really intrigued me because I'm like, why do y'all care about what these news anchors are doing? It's almost like the morning show in real life. If you watch the morning show, it comes on Apple TV. It's a great show with Steve Carell, Reese Witherspoon. Who else is up there? Oh, my mind is going blank and I hate that for me. But it's a really good show. If you haven't seen it, I think it's like 1 or 2 seasons up there and it's amazing storytelling. Jennifer Aniston. That's the other woman that's up there. Jennifer Aniston. And it's just done so well. This story with Good Morning America is giving me morning show vibes, but in real life, which makes it not as funny because obviously these are people's real lives. These people have children. Their children are definitely old enough to be on social media. And I'm like, if for nothing else, try to keep your business somewhat, keep your messy business anyway, somewhat as private as you can. Because, you don't want your kids having to deal with that kind of stuff at school because kids can be mean. So anyway, that's couple number one. Moving right along to Harry and Meghan, or should we refer to them as H&M, since that's what they call each other in the new docuseries that is currently airing on Netflix. Now, as we've already kind of chatted about before, I have watched The Crown. I don't really follow the royal family like that because I personally don't get into it, but I do love documentaries and docuseries, and anytime I feel like I can watch something that's going to teach me about the way people have lived or what the real experience for someone might have been like behind the scenes of a big news story, you're going to get me every time. And this docuseries does just that. This follows Harry and Meghan from basically when they met, I guess, all the way up to present day. So it's going to talk about the behind the scenes of the fallout with the royal family. And I feel like it's kind of like we already knew, So kind of like womp womp. Ugh. And I kind of hate to say that too, but it's kind of like, girl, tell me something I didn't already know. And I feel like this docuseries does that. So you already know that there was a big falling out. You kind of remember the news clippings and the stories and the headlines. Maybe you didn't know which ones were real and which ones weren't. And what this docuseries is doing is giving us the background to what happened from Harry and Meghan's perspective. And what we are learning is all of the little small details that perhaps the royal family would rather you not know. And the fact that Harry is telling a lot of the story makes me think, gosh, this is awful. And it's got to be true because he wouldn't throw his own family under the bus like this if it wasn't. Like, if it wasn't true, I don't think he would be saying half of this stuff. It really doesn't paint his family in a good light at all. And you can kind of see how it's history repeating itself from what happened with his mom. And I don't know how they will be able to, and maybe they just don't plan to, and that's why they live in California now. I was going to say, I don't know how they'll ever come back together as a family, but I don't think that is the plan. Because I don't want to give any spoilers or talk about specific things, because it's much better when you watch it and you hear the story from them. But I'm I don't know how him and William are going to push past this, because some of that is just it's a bit much, and it's a bit rough. But I find their love and their love story to be a very beautiful one. I think they have the cutest little family. I'm surprised at how, again, I am surprised at how big this is. Because you know what? When they were over there and they were living with the royals and all of that, and all of the stories kept coming out, blah, 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 blah. When they left the royal family and they moved over here, I thought okay, well, a lot of this will calm down now, because now they live over here. They're not over there. They're not, doing any of the work that's involved with being a royal. They're out of the firm. No one probably cares about what they're doing anymore, but they clearly still care about what they're saying. And maybe that's why you still see them as trending topics on social media. I don't know. I don't get it. Or maybe people just wanted Harry to marry somebody else who would fit the mold and just do the do. And I think that's the real issue. I think the real issue is that, first of all, Meghan is a woman from Los Angeles, right? And she's very smart. Very smart woman from Los Angeles. So it's kind of you're not just about to tell her what to do and expect her just to be jumping and doing when you say do, if it doesn't make sense. Because she strikes me as a woman that does the things that make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, she's probably going to question it. And she's probably going to ask you in a way that you probably don't even understand, right? So they probably just wanted someone to just fall right in place and do all of the pomp and circumstance and be quiet, fall back, don't become bigger than the actual like royal, who's a royal by blood. And I think that's why you don't see Kate out doing nothing, nowhere, ever, unless she's with William, right? And that didn't occur to me until I watched this Netflix series. I was like, you know what? When him and Kate first got together, there was some news coverage about their love story and how they met. Certainly when they got married, I remember it being a big deal because my oldest child was a little teeny tiny baby. And I remember watching the wedding on TV. At the time, my husband was stationed in Augusta, Georgia. And I remember watching it and being like so blown away with how big of an event it was. Because when Princess Diana got married, I was a baby, if I was even born, but I think I was a baby. I was born in 1984. So of course I don't remember that, like when it happened on TV. So watching Kate and William get married, I was like, oh wow, like this is like a big deal. Her dress is very beautiful. And they seem to be very smitten with her. They as in like the people that live in the UK, like the people that get into the whole royal thing. Maybe they have to be into it. I don't know. But they all seem to embrace Kate and love her. And you don't hear nothing about Kate. Maybe you hear about her in the news over there. But the only thing I used to ever hear about her since she's been married to William was the fact that I think she and Meghan got into some type of something and she ended up crying. I have not heard about her doing no charity work. Where she's been, where she's going, what's the tea? I don't know. Like, I haven't heard of anything. And when you compare her to Princess Diana was everywhere. Princess Diana was out doing the work, shaking the hands, kissing the babies, going to visit people, making them feel loved and seen and heard. And you just don't see that with Kate. And I think that is the real problem that they had with Meghan. That Meghan came in, Meghan already was someone who gave back. She already was doing philanthropic work like on her own. So she really didn't need Harry for that. But of course, this just gave her a much larger platform to be who she naturally was. So in the docuseries, you'll see where she learned about there was an apartment complex fire there. And a lot of the people that lived in that building got misplaced, like they were living in hotels. A lot of them were immigrants from lots of different backgrounds, lots of different religious backgrounds. And she found out about a group of women that were making dinner a couple times a week at a nearby mosque. So she goes and she starts visiting regularly. And she asked them like, well, why aren't y'all doing this like every day? Like, why y'all only over here eating twice a week? Because y'all got to eat dinner every day. I know y'all got kids. And the people were basically like, oh, girl, because we don't have the money. Like, we can't be over here at this mosque cooking in this kitchen every day because who's going to pay for that? Right? And Meghan was like, oh, honey, well, say less because I've been coming over here and sitting with y'all and eating a couple times a week for the past few weeks. And this food is good. We should make a cookbook to make money so that y'all can come over here and cook every day until everybody is back into a home and you have your own kitchen at home. And they did just that. And I want to say when the cookbook was published, it knocked J.K. Rowling off of the #1 spot for the New York Times bestseller list. So, you know what I'm saying? When you come with that kind of energy, people not gonna like that, especially if they haven't been doing it. If that's not the type of work that they've been doing, they're not gonna like it, especially if it's not even in them to do it. Because it's one thing for you to not be doing it, and it's another thing for it not even to be in you to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think it was in Kate ever to even do it. When you watch that docuseries, especially this particular segment of it, when you watch it, you can tell at that event, Harry was very much so like taking a back seat and Meghan was leading the charge. Like Meghan was speaking. She was the one shaking hands. She was the one working the room. And Harry was just kind of standing back behind her, like smiling, like he just beaming, so proud of her. Right? And I don't think you see that with William and Kate. Now, I don't know the dynamic of William and Kate. I haven't seen any docuseries on them. I've just seen clips here and there of them not wanting to hold hands. That's all I've ever seen. So I think when you compare the two young royal couples to one another, I think that is probably where a lot of this comes from. Because in the documentary, Harry says, Everyone has their own like communications rep that works with all of the different publications. And he said it's very common for family members to throw each other under the bus if it means you're going to save yourself. So like, I don't have a sister. I have all brothers, right? But if I had a sister, and let's say we were both princesses, right? Clearly, right? Let's say we were both princesses. If I knew a news story was about to come out about me saying something that I did not want anybody to know, or I didn't want people to be talking about or have knowledge of, I could sell them a story on my sister, whether it was 100% truthful or not. I could say, hey, no, let's do me a favor. How about you not run that story and run this one about my sister instead? And it's going to make my sister look bad, but because we're in this family business of being royals, like, girl, she'll get over it. And I'm like, no, I would never. I would truly never, 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 never. Absolutely not. If I had a sister, never. I wouldn't even do that to my brothers. And they're like men who could take it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And I don't know how they do it. And I'm guessing that's why Harry was like, this is not for me anymore. Like, I can't do it, bruh. I'm done. Let me move to California and try to start anew. The people in California seem way more laid back, and I'm sure they won't care about me being a royal. And I think he was right. Now, for our last couple, we're going to talk about Diddy and Caresha. This one is special to me, and I'm trying not to laugh because I have always thought that Diddy was like a very handsome man. I've thought this since Mo Money, Mo Problems, right? Way back since Biggie had his first album, right? Way, way back. I've been around the world, can't stop, won't stop, all of it, right? Diddy and Caresha. We're just going to fast forward all the way to the front. Diddy and Caresha, when they first became known as a couple, I really didn't take their relationship as anything that was serious or progressing towards marriage or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I have always thought that they were just like dating, messing around with each other. She's getting all the gifts and the trips and the whatever, and he's getting whatever it is he gets from being able to say Caresha is one of his ladies, his shorty wop, I think is what he calls her, right? Okay, that's all fine, well, and good. But the thing is, when you are at award shows and you're holding up signs like, good job, Poppy, or congratulations, Poppy, or whatever that sign said, and you're supposed to be a city girl, and I don't know if people listen to their music. I can't sit here and say that I've listened to like albums and albums of city girl music, but I know what it means to be a city girl, right? As a retired hot girl myself, as chairman of the board of Hot Girls, I would say that mistake number one that Caresha probably made, and we're going to get to Diddy, so we're not just going to pile on Caresha, but mistake number one that she made was letting it be known that she liked him that much in the first place. What we're not going to do is ever be caught on film holding up a sign saying, congratulations, Poppy, when we know Poppy has a plenty lined up behind me. No. So when it comes out that now Poppy has a new baby with someone else, and the internet gets a hold of that because y'all have been out here, broadcasting y'all's relationship. When it comes out that he has a baby that's like 2 months old, I think, people are going to immediately turn to you and be like, ooh, girl, like city girls are down bad because he shouldn't be having no baby on you. Like, you're a side chick, blah, blah, blah. They were saying lots of things. And again, Twitter is my source for all of this. They were coming at Caresha, right? And as a real city girl, Caresha probably just should have ignored all of this and let it go, right? Because that's what you were supposed to do. But this is how we know that Caresha has caught feelings for Poppy. If the sign wasn't enough, Caresha has caught feelings for Poppy because she actually gets on the internet and she defends herself against all these statements of her being like a side chick or a side this or, her being in line somewhere with him and all these other women. And she made him kind of speak out about that and say like, hey, don't come at her like that. She's not a side nothing, like me and her, like I love that girl, blah, 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 blah. And all of that too would have been fine because they're not in a committed relationship, as they have both said. And he pretty much would have been okay had it not been for the fact that maybe like the next day or so, pictures of him came out holding hands with the fingers locked, like when the fingers go in between one another, right? He was holding hands that way with a whole nother person. So I'm like, okay, because he's gonna be him. And girl, he's 53. He's 53 years old, so it's nothing you can do to change him. He not gonna change. But what you can do as a city girl is, instead of going back and forth with people, and I'm acting like Carisha is gonna ever hear this, instead of going back and forth with people over the internet about what is or what is not, or what your status is or what it is not, girl, just step out. And when you step, right? Step out. Because I'm sure there is someone willing and waiting in the wings, Carisha, to be photographed with you somewhere having the time of your life. And see, for whatever reason, and this is why it all might just be like a business thing for them to be seen with each other. It's quite possible. Because I'm like, okay, if you're a real city girl, where's your roster? Like, you shouldn't care that much to be going back and forth with the people, right? Your feelings are hurt real bad. Your feelings are hurt real bad. If you got to go back and forth with people that you don't know, and you got to get him to speak out on your behalf, and that's when it really hit the low for me. I'm like, ooh, girl, no, City Girls is losing if you have him coming out speaking up for you, saying what it is and what it's not. You're not supposed to care about any of this. You're supposed to be collecting your bags, the physical, literal ones. You're supposed to be collecting that check from that show he gave you on Revolt. You're supposed to be getting on whatever songs you can get on to collect that money too. You're supposed to be going on all these trips that he's paying for, collecting those cars, because I think he's bought her like a car or some cars or whatever, collecting all of the things you can collect, get all of your collectibles during this time, and just let him continue to be who he's going to be. And in the meantime, you do apparently whatever Cassie did, and in the meantime, you are with someone else. And when you get done and nice and tired of dealing with him, then you just move on. Just like, I mean, it did take Cassie some time, but when she was ready, like, she moved on, and she's like married and got babies now. And it was all like pretty immediate. It was soon and very soon. Cassie was like, we're going to the ring. Okay. Somebody's going to get that. Somebody is not. But Cassie said soon and very soon, we are going to get that ring. Hopefully Carisha, pulls it together so the City Girls can be back on top before summer. I always like the hot summer or the hot girl summer thing that the young girls are doing now. I love that for them. And I feel like she's one of the hot girls leading the pack right now. So she's got to, aunties, we've got to reach out and say, like, niece, don't let him have you out here looking like you're getting, whether you're getting played or not. You don't ever want it to look like you're getting played. And right now, that's what it looks like. And we don't want that for her. So hopefully they can pull it together. But that whole thing has been a hot mess. And she's so young and cute. So I don't get it. I mean, I get that he's attractive and successful. And I mean, and 53 is not old by any stretch of the imagination, but I just feel like it's too old to be doing mess, which makes you less attractive when I think about it. Because you're not old, but you're too old for that. And that makes you not as attractive as you could be. So Carisha, girl, we all want you to put City Girls back on top. Make us look good. Make the washed up hot girl in me want to applaud the new, fresh city girl in you. Something else that got my attention on TikTok recently was a woman talking about organized refrigerators. And this really hit my spirit and it resonated with me because my refrigerator is a hot mess. That's why you never see it in any of the stuff that I do. You never see me opening that refrigerator door and like reaching in there to put stuff back or get stuff out or whatever, because my refrigerator does not look like a, what's the name of that show with the two girls that come and fix everything? I don't know, but the home organization show that comes on Netflix. I can't think of it right now. But my refrigerator does not look like that. And this lady on TikTok was talking about that. She was like, I see where you guys have these really beautiful organized fridges and you have all the snacks and you have all like the cheese sticks. And when you unroll them, they make that sound. And I'm just imitating her. She's the cutest lady. She was like, and all that's great and everything. She was like, but where's your food? Where's your food? And I'm like, yes, where is your food? Where's your food? Are y'all not eating at home? This is probably why can't nobody stay consistent. Cause y'all got all those snacks in your refrigerator. Cause girl, where's the food? Where is your, I don't know, your, like the lady in the video said, your leftover spaghetti from the other night. Where's your takeout container from the weekend? Where is your, I don't know, the bacon or the eggs that no one wanted at breakfast time? So you put them on a little plate and you saran wrapped them and you put them in the refrigerator and you said, oh, maybe I'll use that and make a sandwich tomorrow morning for breakfast before I go to work. Where is all that stuff? Like literally, where is your food? Because let me tell you, my refrigerator is so jam-packed with actual food, like eggs, bacon, chicken sausage, a million different cheeses for all the different reasons these children want cheese. What else? We have milk cartons. We have Simply Lemonade. We have like so many things. There is no space for any of those cute little snack containers like in my refrigerator. None. And actually, a new refrigerator might be one of my 2023 goals. Like I feel like I need one of the ones that's like double door, like French door effect on top. And then down below you have like your freezer. But anyway, but yes, where's your food? What are y'all doing with all of your food when you have those really pretty refrigerators? Or y'all not cooking? Or you're not, maybe y'all don't have like really large families just yet. I really want to help myself understand, like truly, where's your food? Like the lady said, where is your food? Because my refrigerator is so full of food, I can't even put bottled water in there. Like everybody in my family has gotten used to drinking room temp water because I'm like, I can't put it in there. On Fridays, I buy the children like a flavored beverage of their choice. So that's either like a Simply Lemonade juice. Sometimes they'll pick a soda or something like that. And they have to get ice. I'm like, you just have to pour it over ice because it cannot go in the refrigerator because of all of the food that's in there. And we eat leftovers, and then there's still plenty of food. And sometimes I'll even say, well, I'm just not cooking. Like I'm not going to cook because we haven't gotten rid of any of the food that's in there. And I'm saying food like that because that's how the lady says it in the video. So yeah, absolutely. Truly, where's the food? How are y'all having these super organized refrigerators? How can I do it but still have space for food? Do I need a whole new refrigerator? You only have to give me one reason to go down here to an electronics store and pick out a new fridge. I would love it. It would make my day. But right now I feel like it's not like I can't justify it in my mind. Other than if I had a new refrigerator, then yeah, maybe I would have space for the pretty organization and also the actual food that people are eating. What are y'all doing with your food? And really quickly before we go, because I know it's the holiday season and people will have visitors or you'll be going to visit people and all of that. What is it about when you know someone's coming to your house that you feel like all of a sudden your house has to be showroom ready? Like people don't live there. What is that? It's because it's like the people know you live here because they're coming to see you. But why does my house have to look like we don't live here when people come to visit? Like, what is that about? Why do we do that to ourselves? And what you end up doing is you end up spending a whole lot of time cleaning, putting away things, wiping down. Like you end up doing so much that it takes the fun out of having the visit in the first place. Or at least I know that's what happens to me. When someone says, oh my gosh, Tia, we want to come visit, I start from the moment we get off the phone and I start organizing and doing things so that the day before the visit, I'm not running around here like literally sweating, trying to like organize and clean all of the things, because I want it to look really nice when they get here, when really I'm like, my house wasn't bad before. It just looked lived in, right? Like, for example, we have a dog, so there might be a dog toy on the floor. But before people get here, I will stack those dog toys nice and neat. And see, and that's the thing. When people first get here, it's like, it's like, oh, it's very clean in here. It's very organized. But the second they get here, when I mean to tell you, I don't care what happens, this place could literally fall apart and I wouldn't care, because I'm like, oh no, you saw it when it was clean. For those 2 minutes that you walked in here, and you put your bags down, it was super, super clean. And that's all I care about, that first impression. After that, girl, you could spill red fruit punch on my white carpet and I literally I would not care. I would immediately clean it up so it won't stain, but like I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. But why do we do that to ourselves? What is that about? Wanting your house to look like no one lives there, when in fact, a lot of people live here. And if you're coming to, well, I don't know how many people are like this, but I know I can speak for myself when I say, and if you're coming here for an overnight stay, you're staying for a day or more, then I like really love you. Like I love you. And I love hosting, by the way. Like I put chocolates by their bed. I do like, it's like a little hotel room in there. So I love it when people come to visit. I just don't like what it does to me. Like I don't like the stress that I put myself under unnecessarily. Like, why do we do that? I need to give that up in 2023 too. I'm going to write my 2023 goals down, see what small goals I can create to help me achieve those much bigger goals. I'm very excited about the new year. I hope everyone is. I hope that you feel like you had a very fulfilled, happy, and exciting and well spent 2022. I hope you get all of the rest and family time that you would like to have over this holiday break. If your children are home from school for the next couple of weeks, my T's and P's are with you. And I hope that this Christmas season really warms your heart in a way that truly no other time of the year can. It has been such a nice ride with you all in 2022. The next time we chat, it'll be 2023. And I cannot wait to continue our little Medi-Spa adventure when the new year starts. So thank you for joining me on another episode of Tia's Table. If you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at tiavfitness@gmail.com or reach out to me on Instagram at tiavfitness. There is a new group of online coaching available right now. If you go to the website, tiavfitness.com, you can get self-registered for the winter 2023 TVF University course, where we will go on a month-long journey to develop and healthier habits and working on accountability and gaining consistency and all of that, getting you ready for your 2023 goals. I have made some changes to the program, so it's new, it's improved, it's better, and I think it's going to really give people exactly what it is that they need. I'm excited about that. If you want to get registered, there is a promo code. The promo code is Santa Baby, just like the song, Santa Baby. Yep, it's that. That is the promo code, SANTABABY. Save yourself some money, girl. Get registered. The course starts on January 9th. I'm so excited about it. And that's going to be a great way for us to kick off 2023 around these parts. Remember, when you're out doing all that holiday shopping, compliment someone when you see them. Tell her ugly Christmas sweater is cute. Never knock another woman's hustle. Don't compete. Don't compare. Don't complain. What God has for you is for you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Love you, girl. Bye.